This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
We get to a point as a society where we can never invest in whimsy and beauty and community, then we're in a sad place.
An uncertain future for a popular Victoria event. The reason why Symphony's splash may not happen this year.
Overall, the whole build-out of the site, I think, could be 7 to 10 years, but there could be some very significant initial work on our first phase, which is going to include 2 residential buildings and a public plaza and the art gallery.
Big changes for a downtown Victoria neighborhood. The latest development project to get the green light. Plus, Adam meets an Esquimalt woman who roams local beaches and finds unexpected inspiration. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with a new connection to Vancouver Island. It's called the Salish Sea Gateway, an economic pipeline of container ships and new ports on the mainland and island. And it could open as early as this year. Here's CTV's Andy Garland.
A new short-sea shipping route called the Salish Sea Gateway will connect the mainland to Vancouver Island.
There's a lot of population that's growing on the island. It's growing by 3% a year, so that's going to need a natural service.
DP World is building a new short-sea shipping facility in Vancouver and will barge over containers of goods to their Duke Point terminal in Nanaimo, where they'll be unloaded and delivered.
We don't have to take a truck across. We can take it right from a container terminal to another container terminal. It reduces costs for then the handling and the overall volume.
DP World says the new corridor will also free up space on ferry services while improving environmental impacts. According to the Nanaimo Port Authority, 430,000 truckloads are shipped to the island every year.
Try and see some of those trips be more port to port to improve the supply chain, maybe reduce some of the congestion in the lower mainland, and hopefully see a little bit more resilience in that.
The Vancouver Island Economic Alliance believes the Salish Sea Gateway will create more opportunities on the island as growth and investment continues to increase.
Positions Vancouver Island to sort of more fully participate in national and global supply chains rather than just functioning as an endpoint.
DP World adds the shipping lane won't be a one-way street, and island companies wanting to export goods to the mainland and beyond will have a more financially viable option.
If distributors, manufacturers can set up in the island and still connect with the mainland in an efficient way, they have reason to grow the business over there.
DP World expects to have the Salish Sea Gateway operational by the end of spring. Andy Garland, CTV News, Nanaimo.
From the war in the woods to a Victoria courtroom, a BC Supreme Court justice has ruled activists alleged to have broken a court-ordered injunction at a logging blockade could face higher charges. 12 people have been charged with civil contempt of court for allegedly breaching an injunction that bans anyone from interfering with logging operations in the Walbrand Valley. Yesterday at the Victoria Courthouse, a justice decided blockaders could be prosecuted criminally instead of civilly. He granted an application from Sawakan Forestry to ask BC's Crown Prosecution Service to take over its private legal case against those who have been arrested. Now it's up to Crown to decide whether it will take on the prosecution, a decision expected to come by the end of the month. New nurses are on the way for West Coast General Hospital in Port Alberni as the intensive care beds remain closed. Island Health says 3 new nurses have been hired and will be starting over the next 3 months. The interview process is underway for several more. Island Health says it is seeing interest from around the world with candidates from the United States, United Kingdom, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Nigeria. Island Health didn't give a time frame for when the ICU beds will reopen, but will reassess the situation once the nurses are fully onboarded. Island Health paused certain admissions in mid-December due to a shortage of hospitalists, but reopened to inpatient admissions just before Christmas. A massive project years in the making is finally one step closer to becoming a reality. It's being referred to as the Capital Iron Lands development, and when it's complete, it will transform an area of downtown that has been ripe for redevelopment for years. CTV's Brendan Strain reports.
Change is officially on the horizon for what has become known as the Capital Iron lands in downtown Victoria, after City Council voted unanimously to approve the third reading of the project.
There's a really high level of satisfaction and agreement that this is the right direction for this neighborhood.
It's a massive project, spanning from the shores of the Inner Harbour through to Government Street.
It's been approved for a mixed-use master plan development that's going to have up to 14 buildings.
Consisting of roughly 900,000 square feet of development space, including 650 units of housing, both strata and rental. It will also come with retail, light industrial, and marine industrial space.
These heritage buildings here are going to be retained. That's Valhalla and Capital Iron.
As well as this building, sitting on the northwest corner of the nearly 3-hectare site.
We could see an initial development starting here within about a year.
Reliance Properties says the complete build-out could take up to 7 to 10 years.
I would say the total value of the development is somewhere between $800 million and $1 billion.
You'll see some water access for the public, water access for industry, additional industrial buildings for new industry, as well as supporting what's there.
The first leg of construction will begin in the parking lot of Capital Iron, making way for a new anchor tenant.
Of course, one of the showpieces about which everyone is excited is the art gallery,
which has been looking for a new home for years, as it has outgrown its current location in Victoria's Fairfield neighborhood.
Now that they have the certainty of ensuring that this project is moving forward and that they're a component of it, they can now go out and launch a fairly significant capital campaign to ensure that they can actually build it.
Next, Reliance Properties and the city will need to agree on a master development plan, which will need to come back to council for final adoption. Although after last night's vote, all parties involved believe that shovels should be hitting the ground within the year, beginning a dramatic transformation of this corner of downtown Victoria. Brendan Strain, CTV News, Victoria.
The team behind a hugely successful summer event in downtown Victoria is fighting to keep it alive. Symphony Splash drew an estimated 60,000 people to the Inner Harbour last August when it returned for the first time since the pandemic. The Victoria Symphony's CEO says his team is trying to find funding to bring the orchestra back to the waters in front of the legislature this summer. The nonprofit received $250,000 from the city last year, but it appears that money isn't on the table this time around.
These large-scale civic events, the cost of them has really skyrocketed over the last 5 to 10 years. And it's not really realistic to ask the small not-for-profits like the Symphony to pay for a civic event of that scale on our own and to produce it as well. If we get to a point as a society where we can never invest in whimsy and beauty and community, then we're in a sad place.
He says it costs roughly $350,000 to put on Symphony Splash. In a presentation to City Council, he said the two-day event generated roughly $6.6 million in business sales.
It was never the assumption that we were going to fund it every single year. I think it really depends on what's in the coffers, and we do need to come up with a more financially sustainable model for Splash so that the province is chipping in, other community partners, corporate partners. So I think it's just a logical investment to make. And it's just enormously important for our downtown to get 60,000 people down there, activating the city, spending money in our shops and hotels.
The Victoria Symphony says it's in talks with the David Foster Foundation to see if that organization could produce the event instead. An annual herring sale that raises thousands of dollars for kids with cancer is being postponed because of a hungry group of sea lions. The annual Fishermen Helping Kids with Cancer fundraiser was supposed to happen tomorrow in Victoria. A team from Finest at Sea spent the past 2 nights fishing without any luck. They say thousands of invasive California sea lions followed their boats and feasted on the herring they were trying to catch. Since 2011, the herring sale has raised $1 million for kids being treated for cancer at BC Children's Hospital.
This money goes directly to them. It doesn't go into the big hospital coffers. It funds welcome kits for newly diagnosed patients. It funds food, special food at Christmas time. It funds video games, books, libraries, all the things kids need to make their lives better while they're dealing with this tragic disease.
The fundraiser is now happening Saturday, January 17th. You'll be able to buy 20 pounds of herring for $25 at Finest at Sea Fish Market in James Bay. Still ahead, President Trump's bold threat against Mexican cartels.
And we are going to start now hitting land with regard to the cartels The cartels are running Mexico.
Why Canada could be the next target. A national security expert weighs in. 7 degrees, some beautiful blue sky on the horizon, and Lou will be back after the break with the full forecast.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Explore the endless possibilities at one of our 36 BC locations. Learn more at expediacruises.ca.
What makes West Shore Parks and Recreation a perfect place to play? It's our staff, working behind the scenes to keep the pool safe, kids engaged, and programs thriving. So apply today and join our team.
It is a happy Friday. We have the weekend on our doorstep. So what are you serving up in the weather department?
We're serving up some soupy conditions as we head into the weekend. So we do have this strong system offshore making its way in along the coast and bringing in some strong winds for the northern tip of Vancouver Island. A yellow wind warning is in effect from the southeast. You'll see winds gusting to 100 kilometers, gusting to 120 kilometers an hour. That is through this evening before it eases off. Also, rain is associated with the system, which means a high stream flow advisory in place for the north and west coast of Vancouver Island as we head through the weekend. So for the North Island tomorrow, it will be stormy once again with the rain and the winds gusting to 80 kilometers an hour, highs to 9, soggy for Sunday and Monday, tapering off on Tuesday. Showers 12 degrees though, Wednesday 9 degrees with some scattered showers. For the inland regions of Vancouver Island, 10 to 20 millimeters of rain tomorrow, 8 degrees, periods of rain on Sunday, soggy for Monday and Tuesday, double-digit highs at 10 degrees, easing on Wednesday with some showers and 9 degrees. For the west coast, you'll see heavy rain tomorrow, 60 to 80 millimeters of rain expected, 10 degrees, wet and windy for Sunday. It'll be soggy for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with temperatures between 10 and 11. For Comox, you'll see wet and windy conditions as well, winds gusting to about 70 kilometers an hour along the coast, 50 for inland regions. It'll be wet for Sunday, 8 degrees, double-digit highs for Monday and Tuesday, tapering off into showers for Wednesday with a high of 9. For Nanaimo, Saturday right through until Monday, you'll see periods of rain with temperatures between 7 and 10. Showers for Tuesday and Wednesday, temperatures between 9 and 10. And for Victoria, you'll see a high of 8 degrees tomorrow with some showers. On Sunday, you'll see some light rain. Periods of rain, 11 degrees on Monday, and then clouding over for Tuesday and Wednesday with temperatures between 10 and 11. CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So keep your umbrellas handy.
All right, thanks, Ann. Donald Trump is talking tough on Mexico, signaling land strikes against drug cartels in that country are coming. The U.S. has already said it believes cartels are operating in Canada, and officials on both sides of the border are cautiously watching the president's next move. CTV's Judy Trin now with the Mexican response and the growing risks for Canada.
Donald Trump claimed the capture of Nicolas Maduro was about stopping narco-terrorism. Now Trump is signaling he may send American troops onto Mexican soil.
We've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by water, and we are going to start now hitting land with regard to the cartels. The cartels are running Mexico.
Mexico has previously turned down Trump's offer of military intervention, but is concerned Trump will act on his own, like he did in Venezuela.
And I think for Canada, that's also dangerous. Don't forget that when we started this year, a lot of the discussion was around "quote unquote" fentanyl flows across borders, and he lumped Canada and Mexico into the same basket.
The U.S. has declared 8 cartels terror organizations. 7 of them are based in Mexico. During his meeting with Sheinbaum last September, the Prime Minister acknowledged some of them operate in Canada.
With respect to transnational crime, organized crime, cartels, gangs, the unfortunate fact is that there are gangs from one country in another country, but also vice versa.
In recent months, Mexico and Canada have stepped up efforts to disrupt trafficking networks, including raids to close in on Ryan Wedding, an alleged Canadian cocaine kingpin, believed to be protected by the Sinaloa cartel. On social media, the White House warned, F around and find out. After Venezuela, after threats to invade Greenland, and now Mexico, Analysts say Canada could be most exposed.
If you are weak and you are doing stuff Trump doesn't like, and you can be an ally or you can be an adversary, right? You can be Canada or you can be Venezuela, but you get FAFO'd.
In a recent interview with the New York Times, Trump said that he's not constrained by international law or Congress, but by his own morality. He says that's the only thing that can stop him.
A new Alzheimer's drug, first approved for use in Canada back in September, is giving patients a glimmer of hope against the disease. Today in Toronto, the first Canadian received an infusion of the drug, but so far there is no coverage for the cost in Canada. Here's CTV's Adrienne Gabriel with more on the promise and the cost for patients.
It's starting right now.
With the press of a button, the miracle that is modern medical science goes to work.
I say to anybody who needs this procedure that if they can get it, get it.
Sharon Runge began experiencing mild memory loss about 4 years ago.
Probably in the last year or so, the diagnosis of Alzheimer's has been made.
The Runge family have been waiting for Health Canada to approve this drug that will gift them life's most valuable commodity, time.
It's a historic moment for people living with Alzheimer's disease and their families in Canada.
Today marked the first ever infusion of lecanemab in Canadian history, administered by neurologist Dr. Sarah Mitchell.
It's a monoclonal antibody. It goes in and it basically removes the bad plaques from the brain. It slows down the progression of the disease by about 30%.
Canada is the last of the G7 nations to approve lecanemab. As of today, it still isn't covered by any province, and that comes at a cost.
$32,000 Canadian, and that is per year. We are hoping that we can have equal access for all Canadians to this drug, and that requires government support.
Any future funding of the drug has received some public pushback.
Well, I'd say they should walk in our shoes.
The infusions yield the best outcomes for those battling the early stages of the disease. While Sharon admits she's unaware of her cognitive deterioration, her sense of humor is on point when we ask that she share her age.
I'm 16.
No, she's...
And the love that she has for her children, as well as her husband Dallard, remains as present as ever.
I am so fortunate to have met him. He's the most important thing in my life.
The Runges now have hope that their loving life together will also have longevity. The troublesome protein can gather in the brain decades before symptoms arrive. The next step is testing whether this drug can help offset Alzheimer's in asymptomatic patients. Adrienne Gabriel, CTV News, Toronto.
Coming up, Anita's art. Adam finds out how an Esquimalt woman is being inspired to be creative during daily walks with her dog. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Finally, Adam meets an Esquimalt woman who roams local beaches and finds unexpected inspiration on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
Before they embarked upon this beach, Anita Coleman dressed her dog in denim.
Well, I sewed on the flames and the dragon.
And molded his hair into a mohawk.
So he looks like a tough little dude.
And like the pups named Bean, but looks nothing like one, Anita's searching for things that seem like something else.
Noses, heads, ears. You never know what you're going to find.
To appreciate her perspective, we need to go back to when her younger self drove from Quebec to California.
I really wasn't focused on a career. I was just traveling. I was just living life.
But what Anita really wanted to do was draw. So the single mom sent some of her sketches to Hallmark Cards and got hired.
I just started dancing around the kitchen with my son, and I was singing, "We're in the money."
Anita spent the next 30 years illustrating countless thousands of humorous greeting cards.
And she says, "Do I have something in my teeth?"
learning to be inspired by quietly observing even the most mundane of moments.
Even if you're not feeling so great, you still have to produce.
Which resulted in her mastering the art of seeing the positive possibilities in everything.
This hinge would be good wings.
Well, now that Anita's retired from drawing characters on cards, she's focused on constructing them out of those random things she finds on beaches and in thrift stores.
Some people, I guess, like shopping for shoes. I like shopping for junk.
And then transforming that junk into a junk band, or attaching all sorts of bits and pieces onto hand-painted driftwood to create a whole cast of whimsical critters that Anita displays all around her home that, despite many offers, has never considered selling.
They're my family and my friends. I like having them around. Their presence comforts me.
And perhaps reminds the rest of us that if we take the time to observe the world around us, we just might find every element we need to turn the ordinary into something extraordinary. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Esquimalt.
That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a wonderful weekend. Today on CTV News, shots fired.
Our officers located a man laying on the ground. When officers approached the male, they noticed that he was suffering from gunshot wounds.
One victim, 2 crime scenes. The shooting in New Westminster that shut down a major commuter route during the morning rush. Also tonight.
He was such a kind, loving, virtuous, decent human being. I don't know why anybody would want to kill him.
Remembering a man murdered in Kamloops and the warning from police about meeting people from dating apps. Plus,
they were at one point thought to be going extinct in the year 2020, but luckily they have survived past then.
They're critically endangered and very cute. We'll introduce you to the newest residents of the Vancouver Aquarium.
This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Breaking news to start us off tonight. And Abbotsford police are investigating a fatal shooting. They say it was gang-related. Let's go live to our Michelle Bernoro at the scene in the Town Line Hill neighborhood on Siskin Drive. Michelle.
Yeah, Nafisa, well, as you can see, this area in behind me, behind police lines tonight, as they try and collect evidence in what they're calling a targeted killing. We're going to have you take a look at this here. First responders rushed to Siskin Street around 12:30 this afternoon when gunfire rang out. Police found a man suffering from gunshot wounds. Despite the efforts to save him, he died at the scene. Abbotsford police say this is not an extortion case, but is related to the BC gang conflict. The victim, they say, is well known to them. Sergeant Paul Walker from the Abbotsford Police saying the level of violence seen in the neighborhood today is unacceptable, extremely dangerous. You know, we saw school buses coming here. People may have been walking out in this area, so a very brazen incident today. Now, the police are canvassing the neighborhood. They've been doing that through the afternoon, looking for evidence in this case. Police saying at this point, though, there is no ongoing risk to the public. Nafisa?
Michelle Bernoro reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Michelle. To another shooting now, this one in New Westminster, where a wounded man was found by a patrol officer early this morning. Investigators have spent the day at multiple scenes, one of them at Tipperary Park, and that is where we find CTV's Ben Nesbitt. So, Ben, what do we know so far?
Yeah, Nafisa, unfortunately, not a whole lot. All the police have really confirmed or told us today was that they did find that man suffering from the gunshot wounds down on Columbia Street, kind of right in front of a large condo building. You could, at one point, we saw a vehicle being towed away from that area. They wouldn't clarify what exactly or what role that played. Was that the victim's vehicle? What happened there? And then also later in the day, once that was cleared, they came up here. Still not much of an explanation as to why they were up here, the connection between these two scenes. They've confirmed there is a connection, but unfortunately right now, a lot more questions than answers.
One of New Westminster's main arteries closed off for the morning commute after police officers who just happened to be in the area made a startling discovery.
When officers approached the male, they noticed that he was suffering from gunshot wounds. and responding officers administered emergency first aid.
The man was taken to hospital. The severity of his injuries has not been shared by authorities. Police say it happened at around 3 o'clock in the area of 100 Columbia Street, which was closed off for hours.
I came out of the building and there was like police tape in our lobby and cops were sitting out on the road, and it was all taped off here when I came out through the parkade to go out the other way.
Eventually, the scene is cleared, but officers appeared to head to a second location at Tipperary Park. But what they were looking for or why they were there has not been disclosed.
This is a dynamic investigation, and given we're in the early stages, we're working to determine exactly what those two locations mean and whether or not they're connected.
It's definitely unsettling. I don't really want my kids to grow up in this kind of area if that's how it's going to be.
Also unclear at this point if this was a targeted attack or random. Police have not made any arrests. They're asking anyone who is in either area at around 3 a.m. last night who saw anything, has information or any dash cam footage to reach out. Nafisa.
Thank you, Ben. The friend of a Kamloops man who was found dead inside his home earlier this week says he's in disbelief and wants justice. It comes after RCMP issued a warning of a possible threat to the public. Police say Mohammed, or Ash Zafar, was found dead in his townhouse on Monday. At the time, RCMP called Zafar's death an isolated incident. That has since changed. Police now say there is indeed a threat to the public. Mounties are looking for those who may have communicated with Zafar on men-seeking men, dating sites or apps. Don Texan is one of Zafar's good friends and says he's in shock.
I don't think Ash would have let that person, whoever that was, into his house without meeting out in public first. He was such a kind, loving, virtuous, decent human being. I don't know why anybody would want to kill him.
This is the first homicide of the year in Kamloops. Mounties haven't released any details about a suspect and say they're still working on the events that led up to Zafar's death. Organizers of the Vancouver Chinatown Spring Festival say participants and spectators can expect increased security measures at this year's parade to celebrate the Lunar New Year. A celebration to ring in the Year of the Horse could draw as many as 100,000 people to Chinatown. Citing last year's deadly vehicle attack at the Lapu Lapu Day Festival, organizers say the security budget for the Spring Festival has been expanded. Vancouver police would not comment on specific operational security details, but confirm they will be enhanced.
We will have additional officers deployed for the event at traffic points. You'll see them in uniform. Some might not be in uniform. And we are hoping that it will be a safe event for spectators and families to come on down.
Anti-vehicle barriers will also be in place at key points along the 1.3-kilometer parade route. A forest watchdog is sounding the alarm tonight, alleging illegal logging in one of Vancouver Island's last remaining old-growth valleys. Black Creek near Gold River is home to ancient forests that Joshua Wright says are being destroyed under current provincial policy. He claims a tree he documented last year, nearly 3 meters in diameter and protected under law, has been cut down. He claims it was more than 1,000 years old and symbolizes what he describes as an environmental crisis happening in BC's backcountry.
I went back to Black Creek this year and found a stump. And this was an explicit violation of the Forest and Range Practices Act, a violation of the Big Tree Protection Order. When we lose old-growth forests, we are losing biodiversity. We are accelerating the extinction crisis.
The Ministry of Forests tells CTV News an investigation is ongoing, but wouldn't provide further details. Wright says the province must enforce its own rules before old-growth forests disappear. Well, here's a question. Do you know what an axolotl is? Is it a fish? Is it a frog? We'll show you how you can get a glimpse of these weird and wonderful creatures. A CTV News at 5 continues. Now to the frustration being felt by small business owners fed up with theft and vandalism downtown. One local store losing thousands of dollars worth of merchandise in seconds. They've added security, but the expenses keep adding up, and retailers say they can't keep paying for the cost of crime. Here's CTV's Dimitra Maragos.
This wasn't the way one Yaletown small business wanted to start off 2026. They say thousands of dollars worth of goods were stolen from them in broad daylight. And they say this isn't the first time. In less than 10 seconds,
just walks in, bang, bang, out.
Jason Overbo, the owner of Brooklyn Clothing in Yaletown, says around $3,000 worth of clothing was stolen earlier this week.
I mean, it's tough.
You can see here an employee chasing after the hooded individual, but no luck.
But it's always gut-wrenching. You know, unfortunately, it's happened more than once.
Overbo shared this video of another incident at his store. You can see an employee battling to get the item back.
It just sucks for everybody. I mean, you feel bad for the employees, you feel bad for yourself.
The most recent VPD stats show a nearly 40% decrease in theft under $5,000 in the downtown core. But Overbo says the numbers don't paint the full picture.
There's no question. Everyone that I know that owns a small business is suffering right now.
I don't know where or when the breaking point is going to be, but I think we've passed it.
The BIA says it's hired private security for the area, but says it all just can't fall on small business owners.
I think what we need is a response that includes both enforcement and support, but it also has to include accountability.
In part, it's up to the community at large.
It's really up to us putting political pressure on, putting the resources in place for crime prevention, for addressing criminals, especially repeat offenders, with sentencing and catching them.
Overbo says what was once understanding has now turned into frustration.
I feel like there's not a lot of personal responsibility. I feel bad because I don't have as much empathy as I used to have.
Demetri Marigo, CTV News, Vancouver.
We're getting a sneak peek at a new exhibit opening at the Vancouver Aquarium this weekend. The Amazing Axolotls will be a permanent exhibit celebrating the smiling salamanders with regenerative superpowers. Expect interactive displays, hands-on learning, and a look at their critically endangered habitat near Mexico City. Recent estimates suggest there are between 50 and 1,000 axolotls left in the wild.
They were at one point thought to be going extinct in the year 2020, but luckily they have survived past then. And people have been very passionate about these animals. They show up constantly in the pop culture. I think kids mostly know them through games like Minecraft, but it is an incredible ambassador for animals that we are trying to keep alive in the wild.
The aquarium has 3 female axolotls on display, 2 pink and 1 gray. They were brought to the aquarium through donation and confiscation, as it is illegal to own a pet axolotl in BC. Well, the Vancouver Canucks are hoping the Year of the Horse brings them some luck. The team has unveiled this year's Lunar New Year logo, which features a fire horse designed by local artist Carolyn Wong. The showpiece is this golden-hued jersey that sells for $750. The logo is meant to symbolize raw energy, fearless ambition, and unstoppable momentum. The Canucks will celebrate the Year of the Horse at their January 29th game against the Ducks. Well, will the weekend be a washout? Anne's got the forecast after the break. Plus, it's Movie Friday.
He's been working in Germany. Treachery.
He's an atheist.
There are atheists now. There's one in Bradford.
Well, this movie is giving Downton Abbey meets Sister Act 2. We'll get a preview of The Corral starring Ralph Fiennes coming up.
Time now for tonight's Skywatch, a drone shot of the viaducts with Concord Pacific Park in the foreground, looking north on a cloudy day.
CTV Skywatch is brought to you by Kermac Collision and Autoglass, the name you'll remember when it matters. Kermac cares for kids.
This gentleman wants to know if any of you can sing.
Limb lost, not to mention the things you've seen.
It's 1916 and the Great War rages on the Western Front. Ralph Fiennes plays an ambitious choirmaster in a town determined to use music as an antidote to the chaos laying waste to their lives. We'll get a preview of The Corral right after the forecast. And is it a movie weekend?
Oh, it definitely is. So yes, buy your tickets now. That looks like a great show. Let's take a look at what we can expect. We do have this strong system moving its way in along the coast, and it is bringing in some strong winds. winds. Yellow wind warning in effect for the north coast and central coast, as well as Haida Gwaii, northern tip of Vancouver Island. Winds gusting to 120 kilometers an hour through this evening. Also a rainfall warning in effect for the inland sections of the north coast. 50 to 100 millimeters of rain as we head through the day tomorrow. For the southern interior, dry day for you with some sunny breaks from Kamloops right down to South. You'll see temperatures between 4 and 7 degrees. Mostly sunny skies for Cranbrook, 4 degrees. Showers for Revelstoke with a high of 3 for the central interior. Mostly cloudy skies from Prince George right down to Williams Lake with temperatures between 4 and 7. Cloudy with showers along the coast for Bella Coola with a high of 7 for the northern half of the province. Wet and windy as mentioned for Prince Rupert. Periods of rain for Terrace at 5. Northeast corner of the province, you're looking at mostly sunny skies. For the North Island, wet and windy once again. Temperatures between 8 and 9 with winds gusting to about 80 kilometers an hour. For the South Island, you're looking at 60 to 80 millimeters of rain for Tofino, highs to 10. Soggy for Port Alberni and Nanaimo. Showers in 8 degrees for the Southern Gulf Islands and Victoria. For the Sunshine Coast, you'll see periods of rain with a high of 8. Showers up the Sea to Sky Highway for Squamish at 5. Whistler some mixing at 2. And for us across the lower mainland, we're looking at about 10 to 20 millimeters of rain as well, with temperatures between 7 and 9 degrees heading into Sunday. Heavy rain at times with a high of 9. Monday, we'll see some steady rain. On Tuesday, it eases off. Slight chance of early morning showers, clouding over with cloudy skies and showers on Wednesday. But double-digit highs, temperatures between 10 and 11 for Monday right through until Wednesday.
Soggy. Thanks, Anne.
You're welcome.
As World War I rages on, a new chorus master arrives in a small English town that's lost most of its men and choral society to the army. Here's CTV movie critic Richard Krause with his review of the chorale.
I heard his Mozart Requiem.
So did I. It was wonderful.
This is a new film starring Ralph Fiennes, set in World War I. It is northern England. Most of the men in this fictional village that the action takes place in have been conscripted to go off and fight in the war, and they need to find new voices for their local choral, and they need a new choir master. They find a choir master in the form of Ralph Fiennes, who's kind of a controversial pick for the small town, but they have no other choice, so they bring him in, and sort of mild chaos ensues afterwards. I won't tell you a whole lot about what happens in this movie, but what it's all about is the power of music to bring people together and create a community that is in bad need of being brought together. It's a lovely, if little old-fashioned film, but Ralph Fiennes absolutely terrific in this. So I gave The Choral, which is now playing in theaters, 3 out of 5 stars.
Oh, we're getting a first look at a new thriller that brings a paranormal presence to the podcasting world.
Welcome to the Undertone Podcast, where we talk about all things creepy. I'm your in-house skeptic, Evie Babbage, and my believer co-host says he has a real treat for us today.
Undertone gives the creepy vibes of The Ring a modern spin when a podcast host becomes haunted after listening to a mysterious audio recording. Sure to be a terrifying treat for audiophiles. Undertones comes out March 13th.
Find out.
Well, after the break, school kids crack open a time capsule.
It makes it seem like everything was like more joyful back then, kind of.
Back then, I beg your pardon, we're talking about the year 2000. We'll show you how these kids are reacting to ancient relics like pagers, cassette tapes, and magazines. This is I Just Might, the newest song by Bruno Mars. It arrived with a new music video and will be the lead single to his upcoming album, The Romantic, set for a February 27th release. A world tour supporting that album is coming to BC Place on October 14th. Well, a countdown is on to the Golden Globes this weekend.
Rise and shine.
Bat an eyelash.
Good morning.
There are no hands on the clock.
One battle after another is the top movie nominee with 9 nods, including one for Leonardo DiCaprio. The White Lotus has the most nominations for a TV show with 6. Nikki Glaser will host the Globes for the 2nd year in a row. Now with a preview of CTV News at 6, Mi-Jung Lee.
Nafisa, police are on the hunt for a killer after the death of a man in Kamloops. The body of Mohammed Ash Zafar was found in his home earlier this week. Now police are saying there is a risk to the public, especially those using dating apps. We speak to one of the victim's friends. And the battle over medical assistance in dying and whether certain hospitals can refuse to allow MAID is going to BC Supreme Court on Monday. We'll hear from those pushing for change. And breaking news, police are on the scene of a fatal shooting in Abbotsford. I'll be back at 6. Nafisa?
Thanks, Mi-Jung. Middle school kids get a glimpse into the not-so-distant past when they open a time capsule from the turn of the century. That'll definitely make you feel old. Patrick Cornell has today's Take a Look at This.
Check out middle school students in Pennsylvania cracking open an ancient time capsule dating all the way back to the year 2000. 2000? As in 26 years ago? You know, the good old days of yesteryear when old-timey bands The Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and Britney Spears ruled the airwaves?
I'm seeing a lot of magazines, you know, especially Britney Spears. That's like what I'm most interested in.
These kids make me feel ancient, but at least they have good taste. Among the very old-fashioned items discovered by the youth, a cassette tape, floppy disk, and a cell phone.
And when you would type this in, all that would come across here were the numbers.
Could you text me? No, gosh, no.
Not forgotten, the wisdom of their time capsuling ancestors.
Now most people are always at the mall, and then in 2025, the mall will come to you.
Nailed it. To use a kid word, the whole experience let them feel the vibe at the turn of the century.
It makes it seem like everything was like more joyful back then, kind of.
And teachers appreciate letting the kids know they can leave their own legacy.
The fact that everybody in the building had their name on something, this shows these kids that everybody's important.
Another heavy dose of nostalgia popping up on display, a unique collection of Pez dispensers now available for viewing at a library in Palm Springs, California. You'll find classic Disney characters, presidential Pez portraits, and more contemporary options among the curated candy collectibles belonging to part-time resident Don Yeager. Pez dispensers started in Austria in 1927 as a breath mint to curb smoking. It wasn't until the 1950s Pez started U.S. operations, transforming and kicking off the pop culture candy craze in America that we know. For Take a Look at This, I'm Patrick Cornell.
I love the teacher explaining to the kid that you can't send texts from a pager.
Yeah. Remember those days? No.
Well, one man from Australia took a trip to Canada with one goal in mind: to build an igloo.
Oh.
And he accomplished just that. Kyle and his Canadian girlfriend traveled to a small town in Ontario for the holidays. He wanted to make his dream a reality, so he spent months researching how to build an igloo beginning on December 16th. He finally finished it on Wednesday.
Wow.
Unfortunately, Anne, mild temperatures caused the roof to collapse, but not before he managed to get some pictures with his work.
Good
on you, Kyle.
job, yeah. All right, let's take a look at our scenic snapshot for tonight. Cotton candy clouds above Kalamalka Lake. Thanks, Stacey, for sending this one in. And we want to see your scenic snapshot as well, so email us at scenicsnapshot@ctv.ca.
Mi-Jung will be back for CTV News at 6. Right now, here is Heather Butts with CTV National News. Have a fabulous weekend.